Hey VC, what's up? It's me, Roger, back with a video response to an honest-to-God VC thread. A little different scenery, looking out the back porch here. I love Carm's garden videos. That garden just looks so nice. So I thought I'd mix it up a little bit here. I'm not going to really show some records. You can look at the trees and the birds and stuff. Yeah, so Robert Z. Hey man, if you're watching, I don't know if you watch my channel. He asked the question, when is enough enough? Collecting records, when is enough enough? And I have not seen all the responses, but I've seen a few. And boy, record collectors are weird, aren't they? We're a bunch of weirdos. I include myself in that. People take it so personally. So, I do it myself, and I don't know, I think it's kind of funny. Cheers. Just because you have good taste doesn't mean that you're a good person, okay? Here's a really cool record, right? Really rare. Paid a lot of money for it. It makes me pretty cool, right? I'm a cool person. I own this record. It's a really cool, rare, expensive record. It's cool music. Ashra Temple, their first record with this opens up and stuff. It's, yeah, cool, right? So, that makes me feel like I'm a cool person. I own this cool record. Look what else I have on my shelf. Uh-oh, I'm not so cool, am I? I don't know why I bring this up. I am going to respond to your question, Robert. I'm getting around to it. And some of you, I guess, maybe by now know that, yes, not this issue, the forthcoming issue of Record Collector, I am going to be featured as the Collector of the Month. Yeah, they contacted me through my blog a couple months ago, and they were like, "Do you want to do this?" And I was like, "Sure, yeah." Record collector's a big deal, man. In this issue, it's freaking Max Richter is the collector. He's a famous composer. Who the hell am I? There are going to be some people in VC who are going to be like, "That guy, what the fuck? My collection's way better than his." It's true, right? And they'd be right. What the hell? I didn't seek this out. But it makes me think about your question, Robert, and some of the responses I saw, just how intensely, we get into these things. They're really just mass-produced pieces of plastic and cardboard and ink. And, it's not like they're, original Picasso paintings or Rembrandt paintings or something like that. And, what does it take to build a blue-chip fine art collection of old masters, whatever? All it takes is money, right? And you think those motherfuckers with all the money at those auctions buying those things up, you think those are good people? No. So, when is enough enough? I'm one of these guys driving the forklift, right? I'm moving pallets of records around, and I've been collecting records for 40 years. I buy them, I sell them. It's enough when I can't get around anymore and I can't drive the forklift anymore and move the pallets around anymore. At which point, hopefully I can listen to records, have someone put them on for me and I can listen to them. Hopefully I don't go deaf, But it's enough for me when I can't do it anymore. I figure I'm going to do this till I can't. But that's me, right? Okay? Now, Robert, I'm getting around to your question here. Robert, cheers. It took me a long time to get where you were coming from. Multiple copies of things, keeping them sealed. But you made a video some time ago, which I saw, where you explain why, where you were coming from. And I was like, oh, I get it. He's not doing it like me. He's not doing it like almost anybody else in the VC. It's I remember you saying something like you threw away all your old trash records and you were going to start from scratch, and it was going to be a specific collection, and it was going to be specific pressings, Japanese or MoFi or whatever. And you're going to build this quality collection of certain titles. Totally different than how I couldn't do it that way. But I get it now. So you're kind of like an investment. You're kind of like a stamp collector or a coin collector. You're not going to use that upside down airplane stamp. You're not going to lick it and put it on the envelope to mail in your utility bill, right? You're not going to spend a Roman coin at the Quickie Mart to get a candy bar, right? So, and another thing, the fact that people are like, oh, you haven't played any of these records in 10 years, you're a hoarder. Hey, man, some of you are just kids, you get to be my age and you wind up with 6,000 records. I've got a lot. I've got about 1,000 records that I mostly got for free that I haven't listened to. I need to clean them, and I've been slowly chipping away at it, but anyway, Robert. So, I also know that, right, so you're going to build this very specific collection, and you've been doing that for, however many years, I can't remember now, but, and you also have a child, a special needs child, right? And so you said that, the goal was build this collection and then eventually sell it and create, I guess, a trust for your kid, right? Do I have that right? So to answer, is it enough for you? If that's your goal, I assume you've thought about all the, like if you were hit by a car tomorrow, I assume you've got at least some things in place, that'll make life easier for, to just have to deal with a collection, even a moderate sized collection like 2,000 items, and is a burden maybe you don't want to leave to your loved ones, right? So, maybe it's the time now to work on selling it if you want to maximize the value of this collection you built up, to turn all that energy that you spend into acquiring things into then trying to get the most money out of each item to then put in trust for your kid. That seems to make the most sense to me. I mean, you could argue that these things go up in value over time. Yeah, yes and no. But again, at some point you want to liquidate it, and turn it into money that's then making, but there are better investments than records, I'm pretty sure, and safer. And if you really want to provide for your kid after you're gone, it would be a full-time job, I think, to get the most out of a record collection, because you're not just taking it down to the local store and giving whatever, taking whatever they give you for it. That doesn't make any sense, right? So, I don't know. If I were you, and that really was your goal, I would get started on liquidating, turning it into some cash money that you can then invest, put in trust for your kid, and then, if you only get a very limited amount of time to listen to music, you could keep that, fourth copy of Atom Heart Mother, the crummy domestic pressing, right? And have that to listen to. And meanwhile, get the most you can out of those rare and desirable pressings. While you can, in the vinyl renaissance, people are all excited about music. The economy's doing okay at the moment, sort of. It would probably be a good time, it seems to me, to try to unload those things for the best price you can. That's my response. Coming up on 2 years in the VC. It's kind of amazing. I was going to make a separate video, but this is kind of like I'll just tack this on at the end. And I wanted to do a bunch of shout outs, but I'll forget people, and so cheers to the VC. It can have its drama. You know, I was thinking, there's not any one person in the VC that I know of where my tastes overlap completely with theirs. So, it's not about taste, who has good taste, who's, it's about people, and I'm really grateful for actually getting to meet some people, and I feel like I'm really good friends with people outside of the video thing. I don't know if they watch my videos or not, but I know that I feel like I'm good friends with them. And you know who you are, so I'm going to sign off now at 10 minutes. That's enough of me rambling. Thanks for hanging out. Good luck with your decision, Robert. Wish you all the best.